Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. Today I thought I'd take you around to some of my favorite places in my house and have a little chat with you about how I feel about doing Vlogmas and what I got for Christmas. Let's do this. The first place I want to video from is right here in this little alcove of my bedroom. One of the reasons that I love it so much is because I have a print from the Vincent van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam of Dubonet's garden. And I had it framed at a local framing company here in Eagle called Finer Frames. Meg there is just amazing. And I just love everything about it. The layers of the framing, the color, everything about it. It's very pale and probably doesn't pop up as wonderfully as it looks in person on camera. But it is one of my favorite places. And I thought this would be a perfect place to start today's video. Now, before I get into the good stuff of what I got for Christmas, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I feel about doing Vlogmas. Currently, in everything that I see on my YouTube feed, I'm getting bombarded with how to become unrecognizable in 90 days, how to completely change who you are, how to be everything that you ever wanted to be. And when you flip that around, all of it sounds like you aren't enough currently. And what doing Vlogmas taught me was that every day, every effort that you do is enough. If you're doing your best, that your best is good enough, and your best will change from day to day. So if I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't do 25 days of Vlogmas, I did 24. There was one day that I completely skipped and I did not even think about it. Every other day I was so excited and so ready to do the vlog. Some of them were a little longer than others, but all of them were from my heart and my best work. But there was one day when it just wasn't even a consideration. My brain knew that something needed to give that day, and I allowed that. I didn't fight it. I didn't try to make it happen because I don't want to spend any of my precious life energy feeling frustrated about something that I love doing. Doing Vlogmas really taught me that life is about leaps and lags, and you need both them to be a whole person. For example, in my life, I feel like I can recall an exact point where I took 5 beautiful, wonderful steps forward. And then I took a step back. And then I took another step back. And then I probably could say that the next step was maybe a half a step forward. And those 2.5 steps backwards could have decimated me, but they didn't. And you want to know why they didn't? Because I didn't forget that what I first had done was taken 5 steps forward. So I didn't just look at the 2.5 steps back. I looked at the end result. So those 2.5 steps back, they were nothing in compared to the 5 wonderful giant leaps that I had taken forward previously. And they in no way negated them either. I can illustrate this for you in another way by telling you a story about my mom. I remember when I was about 8 years old, I woke up from a nightmare and I was crying, and she came into my room and she sat on my bed and she said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I had a bad dream." And she said, "Okay, take a deep breath," because I was doing the heaving sob thing. And she said, "Take a deep breath. Now I want you to tell me what makes you happy." And I thought for a minute as I caught my breath, and I said, "Sunshine and flowers." And she said, "Any time that you feel the way you're feeling right now, I just want you to think about sunshine and flowers." In that moment, whether she knew it or not, she gave me one of the greatest gifts in life that a parent could give a child. The ability to choose to be positive when a situation is difficult. This also reminds me of a poem by Rudyard Kipling called "If." And if you know it, and you know what I'm talking about. So now, even as an adult, I think there are some truths that never change. And that is, number 1, I know my mom loved me, and that is very balancing and helpful for me. But also, number 2, and even more important than that, I get to determine what my outcome is. And every day, my choices do that. So every day in Vlogmas, I chose to do a video, except for one day. And it was never something that I felt was going to get me hundreds of thousands of views, but it was something that I needed to do for myself, and I'm really happy that I did. So essentially, by doing Vlogmas, I showed myself what I could do, and ultimately what I should do, which is to stay focused on being happy and doing my best every day and accepting every day as my best. But enough about that. If any of you want to chat further about it, just leave me a comment and I'll be sure to respond. Now I want to talk to you about what I got for Christmas. When you're a child, getting things for Christmas is magical. I remember two specific magical times in my life. One morning when I got dressed up and opened gifts in my living room, and another morning when I wore these fuzzy flannel pajamas and opened gifts for Christmas. And both of them live on in my mind and make me feel so nostalgic and happy at Christmas time. And when you're a child, having those magical memories is super important. It really can carry you through the rest of your life. So I'm all about keeping that magic alive for as long as possible. So the greatest gift I got this Christmas really is that I saw that magic spark in my children and in my grandchildren both. Now, specifically what I got for Christmas, you've seen. I got an espresso maker, and I also asked for the gift of continued travel. But the greatest gift that I've received this year, I feel, is the gift of friends. I have longed for some good, solid people in my life that it's just conversations about, hey, what book did you read? What are you doing? What are you interested in? Let's go for a walk. Let's play pickleball. Let's basically have a childhood friendship that is easy and breezy, but at an adult level. And this year, I have really fallen into some really good friendships with people that I can chat to about just about anything. And for that, I am very grateful. And it's also really caused me to realize that I have many other friends that are exactly like that. It's just that they live far away. I've met them in travels, and usually you connect with people who have similar interests in similar places. And when I travel, I meet people that I connect with almost instantly. By the end of the trip, we exchange information, and I have so many friends that I keep in contact with, but they are long distance. So it's more difficult to play pickleball with somebody who lives in another state. But I also just want to really highlight the fact that those friendships mean so much to me, because life is busy, and it's nice to know that you have those solid people in the background even, that you talk to once a month or so via text, or you make a plan to go on a trip with sometime during the year, that you know you can count on to reach out to and just chat with when you need to. And now I'm going to take you to a restaurant that I've been before, but I just want to show you again because we are meeting there for a family brunch there, and it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I'm going to just give you a little bit of insight into that restaurant. I am literally sitting outside waiting to go in, and there is a blizzard occurring, a 10-second blizzard. That footage caught what I just went through, but I pulled into the Baraboo Supper Club to go to brunch with my family, and a blustering bunch of snow just blew down the street. It's the first time I've seen snow this year. Well, I just want to do a quick outfit of the day, all the usuals. I've got my Timberland boots on, Banana Republic coat and jeans, and a Banana Republic green sweater underneath. So I am all set for brunch at the Baraboo Supper Club. I'll let you know how it is. The Renegade Hotel looks a lot like it did when we were here before the holidays began. It's very festive and it's very cheerful. But this time, walking into the Baraboo Supper Club, it was a completely different atmosphere. Very relaxed, very fun. There's a wonderful buffet that you can help yourself to for the price of $40 a head, I think it is. And it includes all kinds of meats and eggs and fancy dishes. The spread was amazing. And then post-brunch, we walked out into the lobby and noticed for the first time this gorgeous gingerbread house. After looking at it closer when we got home and talking about it, we realized that this gingerbread house is actually merely a square, very well decorated. This gave me a little inspiration for next year. And post-brunch, we went upstairs to the rooftop deck to take a look around in the daylight. I think this might be a place we will revisit on New Year's Eve. Well, brunch was amazing and delicious. And I failed to tell you when I started the video that I woke up early this morning to bake a chocolate cake because it is the birthday of one of my children who happens to be in town, and I'm in charge of cake. So now that I'm back from brunch and I'm full, I'm gonna start working on decorating this. And this is where I'm gonna wrap up the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you in the next one. I'll see you then.